Do you feel stuck in your leadership career? Perhaps you first got into leadership 3 years ago and you're leading a small team of 3 people and are starting to feel like you need more. I have been there. My first leadership job was leading just 2 people, and I was in this for 5 years. This was one of the longest periods of time that I spent in a single role. But this particular role required not just leadership, but finance, marketing, general operations for the department that I was responsible for. Quite a step for someone who was really just learning how to be a leader. I started to get to the feeling of wanting to have a bit more and feeling a bit stagnant in my role. About 4 years in, I felt I could do the work and lead the team easily. I found myself a bit restless and found I could lead my team, which, to be fair, was only 2 people, but without a lot of effort required. And I was just a bit bored. At first I thought, oh, I am just bored and I'm just sick of the routine. But after I thought about it for a while, I realised I'm not truly bored. I'm unchallenged. I didn't really have anything that gave me a true sense of accomplishment, as most tasks that I needed to do had been done before, and I could sort of predict what was coming next because I'd been there so long. Recognising that it was the challenge factor for me, I knew I needed to consider what my long-term goals were for my career. There was no point trying to find something more challenging if I didn't know what sort of challenge interested me and where I wanted my career to go. This required me to do a little bit of thinking about what aspects of my job I currently really liked. So the second thing that I did was make a list of all the good things about the job that I really enjoyed doing. I knew that the finance work that I was doing could mean that I had a couple of options. I could go deeper into the finance work and create a career around that, or I could lean into the leadership more and explore what that looked like. So for this step, I just pulled out all the things that I really liked about my job and discovered some reoccurring themes, which was really around the people factor. This gave me a clear steer that I was more focused on the leadership aspect than I was the finance, which gave me a clear picture for my career. This then helped me think about where do I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. By considering what I wanted my future to look like, it helped me realise that I wanted a bigger leadership challenge. Leading more people was what was coming up for me, as well as continuing with some of that general operations leadership work so that I had a bit of autonomy and decision-making control. This then enabled me to think about what was missing for me if I really wanted to take on a bigger team. And so I started focusing on leadership courses and building my knowledge around managing people that wasn't from a textbook that I'd learned in my study. I had a management degree, and while I learned a lot, practically speaking, managing people in reality is a lot different to learning about management theory. Check out the video on your screen for more on this if you're considering getting a degree to support your leadership career. In order to ensure that I was adequately equipped in terms of how my skills looked to a potential employer, and also around that challenge aspect that I felt was missing from my current role, I sought out leadership skills training and development to build my capability. This also helped show that I was prepared to learn and develop in my role, as well as keeping me interested in where I was at that point in time. I also had a focus in terms of what I wanted to do in my future career and started paying attention to what was happening in the job market. I also spent a bit of time thinking about the type of industry and environment that might suit me the most and could be a good option for me to move into for my next step in my leadership career. This did lead to my next career move, which was managing a bigger team and leading operations. These are part of the steps that I work through in my Leadership Career Blueprint program, which is linked in the description if you're interested in building in more detail on the steps that I'm describing here. As during the blueprint, I step you through the process of determining your why, your leadership drivers and values, as well as determining your ideal environment and crafting your own leadership career blueprint so you can start taking action for your next career move. Thanks very much for watching.